want to jump over to our next topic, and I know you're super passionate about this one, so I'm going to pass it off to you first to start.
Here we go, man. Here we go.
There is a lot of talk on category creation right now. And, Giotano came out with the heat on this one. He just flat out said, I'm going to call it for what it is. He was really honed in on conversational marketing, right? It's not a category. It's just another name for a chatbot. And then he really zeroes in on the fact that, trying to sit here and try to create a category, you're probably not going to pull it off. There's honestly probably better activities you can do. And I know you're super passionate about this one. I know you're a big Drift fanboy. So I'm gonna kick this off to you to start, because that's kind of who he zeroed in on a little bit too.
Should I put it on or not? Look, yeah, he came in pretty hot. What are we talking about here? Okay, category police, right? Is it a category or is it not a category talking about conversational marketing? First of all, much love, G, it's all good, but the question isn't whether something truly by definition is a category or not. That to me is not the conversation here. The conversation is, are you creating a narrative that actually fucking works? And the question in that post that we're talking about, although yes, there is a bigger conversation and all that, but in this particular post, the thing was conversational marketing is not a real category and Drift is cult-like and blah, blah, blah. Okay, right? Okay, here's the point. Here's the point. Conversational marketing worked. And if we don't have a definition of exactly what a category is, then it's a bit reckless to say that something isn't. And again, more importantly, all you have to do is you have to figure out what your narrative is. And Drift has done that now a couple of times over, so don't hate.
All right. I can appreciate that. I'm actually going to go and fully agree with G on this one. I think number one, he's 100% right. I'm not a Drift hater, but I do look at them and I think they're literally a chatbot. I've had conversations with people, and that's honestly what I feel. And number one, the category thing aside, that's not needed to have a strong narrative. And I think that's the problem that you're even saying too, is you don't need the category, honestly, although what they did, they pulled it off and were successful. But you don't need the category. You need the strong story to go with it. And really what's happening, and I see this, and I talk to people, I've had calls, and people are calling me saying, we want to create a category. Right? There's this huge buzzword around it, and it is, to his point, insanely difficult to pull off. You honestly do not need to create a category. You're probably better off having a very strong narrative within an existing category so that you're clearly differentiated from the rest in the field. And I really think that's kind of some of what he was really zeroing in on with that. And I kind of agree with some of that sentiment, which is skip the category thing aside. That's bullshit. Okay, Drift is not conversational marketing. It's a chat, but I just want to get that out of the way. And then lastly, and I think right to your further point, which is build a strong narrative. That really is the key to being different than having a category that can confuse buyers and not fully understand what you offer.
Fair enough, but conversational marketing didn't confuse buyers, right? It's just commentary. It's sort of sitting on the sidelines saying yeah, I don't know about that. The shit worked, period.
Yeah. So I want to just really quickly, as we wrap up time, I want to ask you something. Does it work more because they're marketers selling marketing? And does it get harder when you get out of that space? Because that's a lot of what I see, honestly, is it's really easy in our little circle. It gets way harder when you're trying to sell to IT people, security folks, HR, to go out and create a category and layer on additional confusion.
That might be true, Jay, but the bigger thing here is that they didn't start with category. They started with audience. They started with who. And that's what matters, right? They knew that they were going to serve marketers. That's what they knew they were going to do. Our job, they started marketing before they had a product, right? They knew they existed to serve an audience. And everything was about that. The Drift case study is awesome, and it has multiple layers to it. And yes, I'm okay with some people feeling a certain way about it. But it isn't that conversational marketing is working because they're marketing to marketers. It's because they truly understood their audience.